Michael Cohen's attorney, Lanny Davis, is with us from Washington. Good morning, Lanny.
Good morning.
Your client said he made those payments to the two women in coordination with and at the direction of Mr. Trump, implicating the president in a federal crime. Does Michael Cohen have evidence of that?
Look, this is one thing I'd like to do this morning above all, and which is it's not about evidence. It is definitive, indisputable, that Donald Trump's lawyers said in a letter to the special counsel that President Trump directed, the same word that Michael Cohen used in court yesterday under oath, directed Michael Cohen to make illegal payments. It's not a dispute. It's not about credibility. His own lawyers used the word directed. Now, he lied on Air Force One when he said he knew nothing about it, and Rudy Giuliani said he can lie to the American people and it's not a crime, but his lawyers are the witnesses against him that he directed Michael Cohen. There's no dispute on that.
Well, I appreciate that, but I think you can understand it's a pretty explosive allegation to say that the president directed him to do that. And that's why I'm asking about evidence, because the next question then becomes, do you believe the president is a co-conspirator and that he could be indicted?
First of all, I do have to respectfully disagree. When your lawyer states something, that's evidence that your own lawyer is saying that you did something. It's not a dispute. His lawyers wrote the special counsel and said that he directed Michael Cohen to make these payments.
Rudy.
So the answer is yes, he committed a crime. He should be indicted. If he were not president, he clearly would be indicted and jailed for that crime. Whether he can be indicted as president, of course, is not yet decided by the Supreme Court.
But, Lanny, as you know, lawyers can say one thing one day and then they're paid to say the opposite thing the next day and say it's just a semantic debate, which is why evidence is so important in a courtroom and in these kinds of political debates. So back to Norah's question. Yes, what lawyers may have said what they said. The game is now different. What evidence is there that your client has that the president actually directed to him with the purpose of fixing this with respect to the election?
Well, actually, with all due respect, when a lawyer makes an admission of fact on behalf of a client, that is dispositive evidence. It's not disputable evidence. And Rudy Giuliani then repeated that statement as another lawyer, saying, contradicting the lie that President Trump made on Air Force One when he said he didn't know anything about it. He said the president reimbursed Michael Cohen. So there is no dispute that his lawyers have not taken it back. They wrote it to the special counsel that President Trump committed a crime by directing. And why did he direct? Because he didn't want his signature on the check. Why? Because he was covering up right before the election.
Lanny,
or else why didn't he do it himself?
Lanny, last night you said that your client, Michael Cohen, has evidence about a conspiracy to collude and corrupt the democracy system in the 2016 election, including computer crime hacking. When will your counsel speak with the special counsel, Robert Mueller, about this?
So I was a little bit careful in the way I phrased that. I said that he had matters that would be of interest to the special counsel relating to pre-knowledge of computer hacking by Donald Trump, which, if true, would constitute knowledge of a crime committed by a foreign government in hacking our computers, which was part of the indictment of 12 Russians that the special counsel has already published. So my observation is that he can speak to that, and beyond that, I can't go. It will have to
You're saying
play
Michael
out
Cohen
with the special counsel.
knew that the president of the United States knew about hacking during the campaign?
So I can't go beyond saying that it's my observation that this topic will be of interest to the special counsel. He has statements that he can make along those lines, but I can't go beyond that.
Lanny, in the plea agreement, it says one or more members of the campaign knew about payments. Is there another person or persons who can corroborate what your client is saying?
So that will remain to be seen. I do not personally know those names.
Lanny, your client was hired, Rudy Giuliani notes, and part of his job was to not tell the truth. Why should anybody believe him?
Well, again, I'm not asking people to believe someone who is confessed to crimes. It's not about Michael Cohen's credibility. He did take the responsibility and did confess to those crimes.
Lanny Davis, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.